Hello, 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 my loves. Welcome to the channel if you're new, and if you're not, welcome back. I first of all want to apologize for being radio silent for the last couple weeks since my dad has passed and I've been back in Texas. We've just had a lot going on with all of the services and some family drama, and so I apologize deeply for not being here and for not tapping in with you guys. There was just too much happening and I couldn't be present to these extra outlets. I needed all my energy for supporting my family and getting through all of that. So with that being said, let us move on because I am back now and wanting to plug in fully. So I wanted to give you guys a little update, a little message from Spirit and my guides and angels of what we're needing to know as a collective right now. So I'm just going to read off this message to you all and then do a little sign off. So here we go. Wandering minds need to cease and get clear on a plan of action. Allow yourself to tune into the frequency of your deepest desires and then work backwards from there. Think about it as reverse engineering your dream. So we as a collective are all needing to not only stop our wandering minds and stop incessantly putting our energy into things that are not serving us or things that are just a crutch or something that is an outlet that is not producing or serving towards your greater good and towards your soul's purpose. So if you know that you shouldn't be doing something and you've been continually plugging in there, it's about time to really cease whatever that is and get really clear and focused on what it is that you want, where it is that you want to go, and then start taking and planning action steps, but doing it in the reverse. So looking at your endpoint of what you're wanting and then reverse engineering it from there, and look at all the different types of steps that have to happen. So do what feels right and what you're called to do, and put the rest by the wayside. Our sacrifice of the superficial is necessary right now. Don't busy yourself with that does not fulfill you. Instead, hone in on what does and move in that direction. Our magnetic frequency is on high, and those that are highly motivated in the direction of their fulfillment of their soul desires are the ones that shall have them. So if you're still willy-nilly, if you're still going to be in your wandering mode, if you're still not focused, you're not going to acquire what you want until you find that focus. So that energy, that saying energy goes where your attention flows. Yeah, that's it, right? Energy flows where your attention goes. So what you're focused on is where the energy is going to go. So if you're really wanting to move somewhere or to transition jobs, you need to start getting really clear on what that is and where that is, and then putting your energy into that, putting your attention into it. Start taking action steps and putting feelers out. Start engaging in that realm with people that you know that are doing that same thing, or people that live in that same place. And as you embed and breathe life into that conduit, into that energetic field of what it is that you're wanting to create, into that container, then the universe is going to start to show up for you. So let me continue with the read here. Cease contact with those who no longer lift you up and explore a new way of doing things. Change is necessary for growth, and growing we are. So changes are about to take place. Be, embody, and allow the universal forces to help you navigate and stay on course. So a lot is changing right now. Lots of changes are already taking place. If they feel like they haven't already, we have this new surge of energy coming in, and lots of changes are going to start taking place. And if you're not taking them on your own and taking empowered action, the universe is going to set those up for you. And usually when the universe does it, it's a little bit harder, a little bit more of a shock. So sometimes we have to unplug fully from the people that no longer serve us anymore, that are no longer there for our greater good, that are not trying to lift us up. If you feel like somebody in your life is weighing you down, pulling you down, is just a negative Nancy and doesn't seem to really want the best for you and your fulfillment, then sometimes it's easier just to unplug and walk away completely than to try to rectify the relationship. So sometimes the cord needs to be severed, and every experience in our life is met with either a lesson for growing, a lesson for learning, or it's somebody, some experience is going to help you up level to the next level. So just know that everything's happening for a reason. If you're having a falling out with somebody, just detach as quickly as possible. I posted an article on LinkedIn about how to work through grief. You might want to read that, and that'll help you for any relationships that are ending that you're having a hard time letting go of. Okay, so yes, so the main thing right now is to be, embody, and allow. So the forceful action is not working anymore. Like, we're already on our way into fifth dimensional thinking, into the 5D realm, and that physical forceful action is not the way to go anymore. Now we're having to be and embody who we are and what we're wanting, and then allow it to come to us. We have to get into that magnetic frequency of it, and that frequency match, so it can attract to us. And then from there, we just allow the universe to not only guide us, but to unfold before us. So we give a loose blueprint of what we want, and we can be pretty detailed, but we have to let go of the attachment and expectation of how it's going to show up, and just know that it will. Okay, so be, embody, and allow the universal forces to help you navigate and stay on course. Go within and listen intently to your heart. Acknowledge and imagine where you want to be, and find time to embody who you would be when having it. So that's the thing I'm talking about. So when we are it, we embody it, okay? So if, let's say, you want to go somewhere on vacation, right? And you have to start putting that out there, right? You have to start speaking it into existence, giving it energy, allowing the energetic frequency to flow, creating a container for it. So that's what we're doing. We're building the container for what it is that we want. So you build that container, you breathe life into it by nurturing and taking inspired action. So start to research where it is that you would want to stay. Start researching different places in it. Take note if you know anybody that's been there. Start asking them about it and what their experience was, getting their take on it, where they would recommend. So all of this is bringing an energetic frequency and life into it. You're breathing life into this container, into this dream that you're wanting to create, right? And then the main key right now is to embody it and get in the frequency of it. And the way that we do that is through visualization and meditation. So we want you to go inside, go internally, and sit in meditation for a while and embody what it would feel like to be there. Embody who you would be if you were there. Embody the type of things that you would wear, the way that you would carry yourself, and start living in that energetic frequency of exactly that while you are in your present circumstance. So if you would be carefree and peaceful and at ease being on this vacation, then you need to embody that right now in your job, in your everyday life, in your family. You need to embody that right now and get really clear on what that energetic frequency feels like. And as you embody that energetic frequency of peace, lightness, ease, then it just automatically starts to manifest before you, okay? So serendipitous events will lead the way every day. So as you start to embody this, then the universe starts to show you, it starts to unfold. Your only job is to continue to stay in that energetic frequency, and then to allow the serendipitous events in the universe to show you what these little breadcrumbs are to get you there. Those are those serendipitous events. And a long string of messages will carry you forward. So serendipitous events will lead the way every day, and a long string of messages will carry you forward. So pay attention to the serendipities, pay attention to the messages that you're receiving from the universe, from your guides and angels. Pay attention to if things are starting to pop up, like let's say that you're wanting to go to Hawaii, right? And then all of a sudden you've gotten into the energetic frequency, you're embodying what it would be like to visit there, you're getting excited, you're doing some research, you're taking a little bit of inspired action, right? And then all of a sudden it's like everywhere you go, everywhere everyone you talk to, you're picking up on conversations that you're walking by. Everybody's talking about Hawaii. Everything you see every day, there's something around Hawaii. Just pay attention to those little things and just let them all add up. And then you ask questions. Be like, what am I supposed to know? And just wait for the messages to start pouring in. So those are the serendipities, right? When all of a sudden all these things are starting to line up. And so that's the part about the serendipities and the messages, and just let those carry you forward. Let those continue to lead you in where you need to go. And we've had a ton of solar flares, and as those solar flares and storms start to let's see, what does it say? As the solar flares and storms start to call, a new way of life is taking shape. Oh, I think I skipped a word here, but they're starting to cease. So as the solar flares and the solar storms have started to cease, this new jolt of energy. So every time we have these solar flares and these solar storms, our sun has so much radioactivity, right? It's got a ton of energy because of all of the elements that are in it. And so every time we have these solar flares, where the sun is like firing off these like hot, flares off of it, and these solar storms that are happening on it, this pulsing energetic frequency goes out from it. And we, being close to the sun, and the sun being part of our solar system, it sends that energetic wave to us. So as these solar flares and solar storms start to cease, a new way of energy, this new energetic frequency vibration from this radioactivity is pulsing out into our solar system. And we, being one of the integral parts of the solar system, are getting this jolt of energy, this pulse, if you will, right? Like if you imagine the paddles that they shock your heart with, it's kind of like that. Like we're getting this like energetic shock wave that runs through the solar system, and we, being a planet of natural substance, that rolls through our atmosphere and through our planet, and then continues to go around and through and out to the rest of the solar system. So as the solar flares and solar storms start to cease, that is calling in a new way of life, and that's taking shape on the whole planet. So I don't know if you guys have been feeling this already, but for a long time now, it just feels like we're in a new energetic frequency, and a lot of people um, have left the earth, this earthly plane, in this year. So more and more souls are leaving their earthly body. If one, they're done with their karmic duties, or two, just can't handle all of the shifts and changes that are happening and are wanting to get back into their soul form. So just know if you're losing people, again, maybe check in and read that article that I wrote on working through grief, because a sense of detachment has to happen in order to continue to move forward and to continue to grow from the experience. And I won't talk much more about that, but check that out. I'll put a link to it in the notes on this video. So for the end of their message, they said, new energy is a result, and this new way of life begins today, which was yesterday, actually. I meant to record this and post it yesterday, but had a lot of running around to do. So Mercury retrograde begins in a couple days, and then we also are coming into our new moon. So if you're going to start something new, just know that a lot of changes are happening, and it might be best to solidify or sign any contracts after Mercury retrograde. So that is what we were needing to know as a collective. So one, stop the wandering, stop the superficial, unnecessary things that you are busying your time with, and start getting really focused on what it is that you want, that your soul is calling out for and desiring, and for the things that you're wanting to create in this physical reality within the next year, within the next 5 years, and then start reverse engineering. Remember, our tools and our directives from spirit or source are to be, embody, and allow. So no more forceful action, no more forcing anything to happen, no more chasing. This is about creating the container, getting in the vibration, embodying who you would be when you have that, and then living from that place. And everything, watch for the synchronicities, listen and wait for the messages, and then allow the universe to guide and lead you and unfold for you what it's wanting for you and where it's wanting you to go. So if it feels like things aren't working out, just unplug, take a step back, look at where you are, zoom out, because a lot of times we're under the microscope and we're so worried about that one thing not working out that we're not realizing that other things are falling into place to get us to the next step, to show us that next dot. So allow, and zoom way out. Allow yourself to see the full timeline spectrum. Look back at your container and what your dream is. Look back at all the action steps that you reverse engineered. See if you can just re-navigate yourself to move on to the next one while this one works itself out. And continue to move forward. Continue to allow and just be. So wait for yourself to find that inspiration when you feel stirred to action, that inspired action. Wait for that. We don't want to be complacent, but we also don't want to force. So those are the things that we're needing to know right now as a collective. I hope this helps you guys. And I've posted a couple other articles on LinkedIn. Feel free to read them. One of them was about the 10 things I learned in Mexico as I, for a better work-life ethic. It's good for just anybody to read, I think, to realize and prioritize what's actually important in your life. Mexico, my time in Mexico was a beautiful, beautiful reflection of what is actually important in my life, and I'm sharing that with you guys in there. So I love you. thank you again for being here and watching this, and for your patience with me. I will be posting another Crystals and Cocktails this Friday, and we are getting back on the ball. I love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful rest of your week. Ciao.